Hi, good afternoon, friends. Yesterday we have discussed about types of constitution. So today I am going to start with theory of separation of powers. So before starting this, just know the separation of powers about Article 50 in our constitution. Read about Article 50. You will come to know what is separation of powers. So I'm starting with theory of separation of powers. The word theory of separation of powers has been given by a French philosopher called Montesquieu. So he said that why he raised this theory of separation of power means, I'll say with an example, friend. So in our ancient times and medieval period, most of the areas has been ruled by kings. So king is the major power. King has the major power to do whatever he wants. So all of the persons who are belonging to their region, everyone will be under the king. King has a major power in his hand. He can do what he can do. What do he wants to do? He can do everything because all the power rests with the king. So this is the we can say this is as monarchy. Monarchy also we can say this. So this can lead to tyranny. It means a despotic rule. So it sometimes it may cause problems to the people, to other people, other regions, to in within the boundary people. It can lead the problems to every people. So to overcome this, Montesquieu said that if we want to establish a democratic system, we have to distribute the powers into three different organizations to overcome the king's rule. Just an example, students, king's rule means, I am giving an example to you that all the power rests with the king, so it should be demolished. Everyone are equal here. In democratic country, every people should be equal, have their own individuality, freedom. So to distribute the power, distribution of powers, that should be set in a watertight arrangement. He said that should be set in a watertight arrangement. I'll dictate you what is meant by watertight arrangement, friends. First, listen that three different organs. It means, what are the three different organs? First one is legislature, second one is executive, and third one is judiciary. He said that no three organs has the any relations with each other. So legislature should be different, executive should be different, and judiciary should be different. So what does legislature do, and what does executive do, and what does judiciary do? So legislature, it should make law. Legislature work is to only make the law, and executive will implement these laws. And finally, judiciary will determine the constitutionality of the laws, whether the laws are in agreement with the constitution or it violates the law, and punish the culprit. This is the work given to their respective position. Legislative, it makes the law, executive, it implements the law, and judiciary, it determines the law. So this is about three organs, friends. Montesquieu said that no organ should have any relationship with others. So due to this, we can cause an issue, students. What does it mean? We can compare all the constitutional laws with American laws, because American constitution is the oldest constitution according to our sense. So USA, according to USA, Article 1, 2, 3 says that Article 1 will make the law, Article 2 will implement the laws, and Article 3 will determine the law. So here they said that American introduces that according to theory of separation of powers, they just added that doctrine of checks and balances. If no organ interprets the other organ, will it not lead to injustice? Yes, na? If any organ doesn't interrupt the other organ, it will lead to some problems and injustice. Why? Why it means, I'll explain that. Suppose I means legislative made some bad law. whatever the legislature made the law, it should be implemented by executive. Even though legislature made the bad law, executive will implement it. After implementation of the law, judiciary will interpret it. It will determine that if no one has no boundaries, they can do whatever they want. Then the whole democratic system has been collapsed. So, due to this doctrine of checks and balances, each and every organ has some checks, some limit. So that limit should be checked by others, and others limit has been checked by others. It has been did in a watertight management. So checks and balances mean if legislative make any bad law, it should be checked by judiciary. Judiciary will interpret it and it should denote the constitutionality of the law. So they will determine that whether it is good or not, whether it violates the constitutional laws or not. If it violates, they will reject it. Judiciary will reject it. This is called checks and balance. They are checking it and making them balance. So there should be a harmony between legislative, executive and judiciary. If there is no harmony, entire whole the government will be collapsed. So in USA there is Congress. In Congress there will be Republican Senate will be there. House of Representative and Senate will be there. In House of Representative there will be legislative and executive. In Senate there will be judiciary. So three organs has their limits along with their checks and balances. If any one of it has done wrong, two of them will check it. So suppose recently in USA Donald Trump has been misled something. He has been practiced as he did some mistake. I'm properly not recognizing it. He did some malpractice according to their states. So he has been checked by the legislature by passing the no confidence motion, and they rejected him. They removed him. So that he has been done some tyranny to remove that tyranny. This has been used. What is that? Doctrine of checks and balances. If any law has been made wrong, it will be checked by judiciary and executive. If executive makes anything wrong, legislature and judiciary will take part to object it. If judiciary makes the law, legislature and executive will take part to object it. It is a triangular boundary. They are making triangular boundary to make the system in proper way. This is called theory of separation of powers, friends. So in this we have to remember this watertight management. Here watertight means watertight is nothing but doctrine of checks and balances. So sorry friends, watertight means there should be no relation with others. Legislature have to do its own work, executive have to do its own work, judiciary have to do its own work. Watertight means there should be some particularity to their perception of the work. There should be some particularity to their perception of the work. Legislative has its own work, executive has its own work, judiciary has its own work. Watertight arrangement means there is a particular work to their particular perception. This is called watertight arrangement. So for example, I am providing that watertight means take a box and fill it with water. It does not bonding with others. It does not bonding with others because it has a boundary. So it can't go through others. It should be stayed within their boundary. So legislature should be in its boundary and executive should be in its boundary, judiciary should be in its boundary. No one has no attachment with each other. This is called watertight arrangement. So this is all about theory of separation of powers and checks and balance, friend. So tomorrow I will come by new topic. If you have any doubts, just comment me in the comment box. Just follow the lecture, and if you want to make the notes, I can provide the notes for you friends if you message me in the comment box. This is all about theory of separation of powers. Thank you for listening friends. Have a good day. Make sure that view the see the video and just give me a like. Your like will boost me to make more videos. Thank you friend.